I'll always take the tiny here. Like, Drow is a good unit, but ladders are kind of not that great. Oof. So, I wonder if there's any items I can get here that would make me change my mind. Like, I wouldn't take the Suicide Mechs over a tiny run one. And since you can only get tier 1 items run 1, you can't get something like Fall from Grace that would make the Drow more valuable than Tiny. Enchantress is great. Batrider is great too. It's kind of a little bit awkward because I have a lot more backline stuff than I have frontline stuff, which is generally not what you want to... Like, that's generally not how you want your early board to develop. You want to prioritize like frontline stuff and then just like having a little bit of backline or flanking units. Why Seiki is so busted is because, like, while he is ideally a flanking unit, he also doesn't mind being like a frontline unit, so he can double as both. I guess it's a Claymore game. I'm not a fan of Bedfellows. If I was a fan of Bedfellows, then I would have probably taken it, but I can't make demons work. This is a pretty nice pack. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to get rid of the Batrider at this point, but that is fine. Hopefully this Beastmaster gets off his axes before Tiny tosses, so he can like last hit all of these dudes off in the back. If I position something like this, then maybe he'll throw his axes earlier. Maybe it's better to have the Claymore on the Beastmaster too, against these neutrals. Oh, nice 1 kill for the Beastmaster, 4 kills for the Beastmaster. Then, like, I'll be very happy if I get the brawny item at this point. Because I'm already, like, at the point where it's worth almost as much as a Vitality booster. I'm not a huge fan of Roach, Tranquil Boots, or Soul Sucking Siphon. And Octarine Essence doesn't do all that much just yet, but like Octarine Essence will find some value at some point in most games, so I do prefer to take it. This round 1, or first PvP round, I'm actually gonna put an Ogre on the board, because like he's got very beefy stats. Like this dude, he does good DPS, but at the same time, he's not that beefy. And this CK just does amazing DPS, so I'd rather have a flanking CK. Just like let this Ogre be more or frontline unit. Ouch. This dude surviving with 1 HP is costing me a lot of health, but CK should be able to clean up, no problems. Then I'll have Warlock pair. Like, I'm not a fan of Warlock pairs, but usually a level 2 Warlock would be stronger than a, like, was last game, because the entire lobby was, like, almost the entire lobby was high rolling the early game. Super hard. But usually a 2-star Warlock will be somewhat useful in the early game. So, at this point, I could consider selling out of some stuff to put in a second CK. I guess I can just put in a second CK like this. And I can put the cooldown reduction on the Warlock, then if he heals himself, he'll be able to heal himself again. if I lose this round, I can sell out to the Ogre to get the Witch Doctor. This Beastmaster is, like, he's nice to have around, but since I have this CK pair, he's kind of losing a little bit of value. Not all that much, but a little bit. Oh, those Tinker Rockets healed so much. Maybe this is a timeout round. No, he's not healing enough. So, I barely lost this run, but it's better to lose than it is to draw, since, like, if things go south on the board, then at least I'm starting a lose streak like this. So a 2-star draw is some pretty good stuff, but I'm not sure how to put her on my board at this point. Guess I actually have to do something like this. I can sell out of some stuff, like these druids. Actually, I sold 1 unit more than I needed. Not sure how that happened, but it did. And I'm hoping to find something like a Pudge or an Abaddon, just to activate my Heartless, which, like, it makes Zhao significantly better if you can tap into her synergies. Like, without her synergies, she's kind of a shitty unit. 2-star Zhao is like... she's a bit eh. It's very whatever. I'm not sure if I actually want to keep this 2-star Warlock. I think I'd rather have these two dudes. Then I can put the Racer on the board. Like, he's fairly tanky, so I can actually play him as a frontline unit. And I can go something like this. And if I run into Team AM, then the Racer is not gonna get any casts off, and my Seekers are gonna lose like a third of their total damage output, but like, I can't really make a better board to deal with them without sacrificing something against other boards. Oh. It would have been bad if I had accidentally left that locked. So Lycan is a good unit to hold on to, but since I don't really have pairs here, I don't mind selling out of like some of my 3 costs to make 10 gold the next round. Then it'll just come down to what I actually see. But most likely I'll be selling out of those 2 units or those 2 units. Yeah, I can't really find immediate value playing Slark. Might be better to play Lycan over Racer, to be honest, but I'm not entirely sure, so I'm actually just gonna sell the Tiny.
They don't hold a candle to us.
Since, like, a 1-star Lycan, if I have him in the corner of my formation, then he's not that likely to be able to actually cast this ability. In which case, he's equally tanky to a Racer. The Racer is somewhat more likely to be able to cast this ability.
I need no kingdoms. All that
And then, usually I would have taken the Bounty Hunter as a preference over the Terrorblade in this round, but since this dude is in Strange Bedfellows, then just taking 1 Terrorblade out of the pool is worth more than this Bounty Hunter that doesn't really hold any value to me. That is pretty nice. So I'll just immediately take this dude. And I can sell out of some of this poop.
At least you're smart enough not to recruit Wind Ranger.
And I guess I can just put this dude on the board. Probably reposition like this. And I can also put the Claymore on one of my range dudes, since the CK already has massive damage on his own. Like adding a little bit more damage to him doesn't really do all that much. So I won on both my board and his board, which is pretty good for me. Uh, 2, 3, 5, 7. So I can probably make 20 for the neutral round. And if other people were a lot stronger, then I could consider going up to 30 as well, just setting off some of the units that I currently have on the board. Oh, so this might be a draw 3 game. That's pretty pog. And since it looks like I'm somewhat in Knights, but I'm not really in Knights. Like, I'm more in Warriors than I'm in Knights at this point. And most likely the Seeker is just gonna end up being a splash down the line.
I like the way you think.
No, it's just a like good standalone unit. Since I haven't been offered like great standalone units, he's alright. He's got he does 200 damage with his nuke, and he's got 750 HP, 5 armor, and he does something like 50 DPS. Actually, I can just open this resort. Yeah, he had the exact stats that I was saying. So Blink Dagger is pretty nice here. Tooth and Claw is also worth considering, because but I only have a Lycan. If I had a little bit more, then it would have been more interesting. Oh, that's a 2-star PA. So I can't really utilize the Blink Dagger just yet. I can't make 30 here without selling out to something that I actually care about. But I can collect these 2 fishes, and maybe, if I'm lucky, I can get a 2-star Slark, just play it on its own for like a while. It's kind of unfortunate that I haven't been able to find either an Abaddon or a Pudge at this point. They would improve my board a lot, turning on the Heartless. Oh, I guess inactive synergies don't show during combat. And like both of these items are kind of dead right now. They don't do anything. I could put it on like this on the CK, but I think I'd rather he just punch rather than cast the nuke more times if he's being focus fired. Since it means he's more likely to actually finish off the target he's punching.
Let's do this.
Now, I didn't hit the Slark, and I do want to make this interest, so I'm just gonna sell out it. I guess I could put the Blink Dagger on the CK if I wanted him to target some backlines, but like based on how people are positioned, I don't think he's gonna do great with a Blink. Overall in this game, people are pretty strong. It's also kind of sad that I haven't been able to find any new hunters since I sold off the 1-star Beastmaster. Since I have 7 drows, it would be really nice to find some hunters. So there is an Abaddon that is an immediate major upgrade for my board. I guess I still want to maintain this sort of formation. I could scoot back a bit, go something like this. Maybe even like this. But this exposes the Lycan a little bit too much. I think him getting off his ability is more important than the Slaughter getting like good DPS time. So my economy is actually kind of trash for the game state that I'm in, but my board is recently useful. It's like it's not terrible, but it's not super strong either. And nobody's been like full win streaking. Only the guy on a hard lose streak has a super strong economy. So I'm about on par with the rest economy-wise. I don't really have easy ways to upgrade either. I'm not sure why I have one enchantress on my bunch. I'm supposed to have two. So that's a little bit curious, but it's just a misplay that happened at some point. And this pack is like, it's full garbage. I can actually take the Tusk over the Luna, to be honest. And I can put him to be a little bit sacrificial. Just to activate my 3 warriors, and then I'll get the beast buff instead of having Luna. Even though Luna is a better standalone unit, like having the Tusken gives my 2 main frontline units more armor, which leads to them being able to tank longer. And like I'm not really lacking damage all that much since I have Heartless and I have like these 2 damage clears. Just like I'm lacking upgrades. A 2-star draw is like, it's not a real 2-star unit, it's like a 1.5-star unit. So these pulls are pretty good. And I can position something like this against the wolves, it doesn't matter too much. You can even do something like this, or this. Here, Abaddon, you can have this. In PvP rounds he's not gonna get off 2 casts, but he might be able to in the PvP round, or PvE round. And since I'm not really in Knights, I will sell out of this Luna, grab this Lycan. And at least now I have a decent amount of pairs. In the Witch Doctor, the Lycan and the Slardar. And this CK I have on the board, like, he's just a value unit splash. I'll be paying 2 gold for having had him on my board when I do sell him off, but that is not the end of the world. It's just 2 gold. And I could take a couple of rolls here, but I don't think my board is actually in need of rolling right now. So Tooth and Claw would be fairly interesting here, but it's a little bit late for it, and I only have like the Lycan. If I had a 2-star Enchantress, I would take it. With this Tusk being offered, I will take a roll or 2 here. And I can put the Skadi on this dude because he gets percent HP when he transforms. And I guess having the beast bonus is better than having the Slaughter in. And then I should grab the Abaddon and the Enchantress for the next run. Like, even if I don't hit anything, then I can just sell them off, right? It's kind of free. I'll just reorganize my bench a little bit.
You won't regret this.
So at this point, I can just sell off the stuff that's on my board. I can take a couple of rolls here. Like 2 or 3. Okay, that's pretty good. And it's probably better to play this dude over the second troll. Just adding a little bit of CC. And it's time to start letting my economy recover at this point. I do have like I have some really good pairs, but I'm not in like a rush to hit them. It's just like good development for a little bit later. I'm getting... No, I'm not getting crushed. I thought I was being destroyed, but it turns out I had a bunch of like 1 HP units that didn't want to die. It was pretty fortunate for me. And generally speaking, it's inadvisable to be playing both knights and warriors at the same time. Like, I cannot recommend doing this, but like, I'm just considering these two splash units. The Abaddon is like, he's reasonably valuable, just activating on that for me. And this CK, I can replace when I find something like a Doom. I don't want to put in a Shadow Fiend over him.
Good choice.
And I do want, at this point, I do want to focus on like developing my bench as much as I can to create a lot of outs, so I don't need to spend as much money rolling when I do need to hit upgrades. And it's not that important like what specific units I hit, as long as they're reasonably good and they make sense on my board, if you know what I mean. So the next run I can take something like 2 rolls. Since I am on a win streak and I have a lot of stuff that I can hit, we'll just lift some stuff onto the board before I take the rolls. Oh, that is a 2-star troll. Don't need to roll anymore. Then I can grab the Windrunner after the run starts. This Tusk is like, he will go away soon. He's just here temporarily.
They actually think
Ready to
they're gonna
fight.
beat us.
If I end up hitting something like a 2-star Tusk, then I can consider selling out of the Slardars instead, but most likely I want to maintain the Slardars in case I get offered Retaliate this run. Then I don't mind selling out of this Alchemist to hit interest for run 20, but ideally I would be selling out of something else. Yes, since I was on such a big streak, I actually got a lot of gold, and I can just sell out of this dude. It's probably better to play the starter over the Alchemist for now, but I will put in the Alchemist for the next round. Unless I hit something like the 2-star Windrainer, then I should consider playing her instead. Then, if I can find something like a Dusa, that would be really nice. Then I can just sell out of this CK2, and I'll be in some sort of Warrior Hunter-ish lineup. That, like, that sort of lineup is exceptionally good at just hanging out and being strong immediately. And it has really good like transitions towards the late game as well, just due to playing Drow naturally. Like, she's a surprisingly useful unit in the end game. So we'll take maybe 1 or 2 rolls here. So I'll just put in Pudge, or not the Pudge, the Alchemist. And I'll put him semi-exposed. Maybe I give him this as well. Actually, I can just give this to this. I have the blink on Alchemist, and I'm on 29, so I will get interest if I win this round, which against an X3, then maybe I'm not super likely. Oh, he has a blink, so he's not actually tanking. Wait, does this dude have the item? I think he does, yeah. Can you do this, Lycan? I believe. What a guy. then I don't mind lifting the sniper onto the board. Wait, I meant the sniper, not the tiny. So this DK would have been interesting in different situations. I can roll down to 30 here again, just so at this point, let's see, I can sell out of CK now. Like I really like CK, but he's not really necessary in this situation. I don't have anything to put the blink on right now, but that is fine. We'll find its value down the line. At this point, I can get back to letting my economy recover, and then I can probably aim to push level 9 for round 27. Since I did roll down a bit, I'm probably not going to be able to go for it for round 26 without like paying with a lot of interest. Especially not if I want to like develop my bench further on the way there and like actually hit some upgrades after I hit 9. So this dude has attack is. There's not that much I can do about it. I can just bash it. So I can take the Witch Doctor upgrade immediately. Then I can wait for the round to start before I take the Alchemist upgrade. Then I will want to put in the Alchemist for my 9th unit at this point. Like, it will be very ideal. Then, like, if I find something like a 2-star Pudge, I can take out the Slaughter and even play the Alchemist on 8, because this Abaddon is just here to give me undead right. This dude beat me on his board, but I don't really mind this. He's like he's significantly all in. He's level 8. He doesn't have much future potential. He has something like almost a DK2 on his bench, but he's combining it with a bunch of mages, so it's not really that spooky. And actually, since I finished my win streak, I can actually just do this. Then even though I am slightly weaker on board for this round, it doesn't really matter that much because like win or lose this round, it's not a major difference. I have a lot of health to work with, so just getting potentially one more gold is quite valuable to me. And it looks like I'm winning the round anyway. That's pretty great. This starter can just hang out on a bench for a while till I actually either need the space or I know that there's no way I can fit him on the board anymore. This sniper, he's also like a temporary unit. I wouldn't want to 2-star this sniper because I know that as soon as I find a Dusa, I will be replacing him, even a 1-star Dusa. So this Doom is pretty great. At that point, I can just sell out of the Slaughter because I would play a 1-star Doom over a 2-star Slaughter. Then I can start pushing levels. And as said earlier, most likely I will be able to push level 9 for round 27, not 26. Yes. I should probably reposition to respect the assassins and the blink axe. Since there's actually like a lot of assassin stuff going around. In which case, probably, actually, maybe I go something like this. Hunter's Focus is it's not really big here, but the other items are kind of trash. Pipe is okay. So I think I'll just take the pipe, honestly. Then I can position something like this. My troll is kind of exposed to assassins this way, but maybe it's even better to go something like this. or something like this. Yeah, I quite like this positioning, so I'm gonna go for it. Hi, Shorta TV. What's up? It looks like I'm beating Team DK2 quite easily. Come on, Troll. I know you can bash. Maybe this DK will actually just solo the remaining heroes. Ah, the Troll is too good at bashing. And I'm not too interested in anything in the shop right now. And now that I'm level 9, I can take a couple of rolls. I'm not necessarily looking for immediate upgrades, since my bench is so, like, empty. I just want to fill it up. I don't really want this 2-star sanking being offered, so we'll sell out of the sanking just to avoid scamming myself. Stone Druid, Disruptor are okay. So I'll just sell out of these dudes. I can put in the Doom. And I can take one more roll, just in case I hit the 3-star go. Come on. And probably, it's better for me to reposition now, so the Pudge is in front and Lycan is down here. Since the Pudge has 2500 HP, he's pretty fucking tanky. So here is the do so. And I don't need to, like, immediately let my economy recover here. I can take a couple of rolls. This Doom and this Necro is interesting. I don't need this dude. I kind of don't care about this dude. At this point, I'm gonna have a fairly well-developed bench with the pairs in Necro and Doom. So, like, even though it's fairly hot for me to roll, the situation isn't really urgent. It's just, it feels good to, like, have some natural potential to improve. This Team Mage just, like, it did bad things to me. But, like, if I can find something like a 2-star Disruptor, then he can't really do much, and he is stuck on 0 gold with actual 0 development potential. So, like, it's not nearly as bad as it looks. Although I would prefer to not run into that guy for a couple of runs at least. The 2-star Necro is neat. Then I can just put him on the board over the Doom, I think. Even though I lose the 3 warrior bonus, just having the Necro is quite valuable. I'll just put the Octarine Essence on him as well. Wait. Oh, I thought it was a PvP run again. What the fuck is wrong with me? Hello, Griever TV. At least, I'm not losing the run, but it was a pretty severe mistake too. Since it's a PvP run, just building the fucking Necro and putting it on the board would be significantly better than what I ended up doing. And I can probably reposition something like this at this point. I could also consider like moving the Dusa like this, but I think I prefer her in this spot. And I could also, in this position, say that I have faith in the other people killing off this dude, so I don't actually need the disruptor that, like, urgently. In which case I can actually take this interest. Oh no, I'm not even losing 3 warriors because I have the troll warlord. I am a bit of a Pepega. And I do want to roll a bit here, but I don't want to roll until I see the item, because if I end up with a higher... Actually, I don't think I can... No, I have embarrassment, I don't have smuggler. I'm being a Pepega again. Anyway, if I find a higher class of criminal, I would want to actually activate that item before I start rolling. I have not found a higher class of criminal. I wonder if multiple pipes stack. So, this might be wrong, but it's for the sake of science. So, which is pretty neat. At this point, I can take a couple more rolls. I don't care about the Kankari Skull Pest. I'll take these disruptors after the run starts, just then I'll have to see if anything sticks. I'll probably be able to head towards level 10 for round 33 at this point. Because the Witch Doctor is giving my troll a lot of attack speed, and my troll is my biggest damage dealer at this point, because my Deuce is a 1-star. No, he's mostly there to give me the troll buff for my troll. Then he's just a generally useful unit, because he does provide some amount of CC for me. And then, like, if I end up having a Disruptor too, then it is possible that I end up playing 4 Warlocks and 10, but more likely I'll be playing 4 Undead with a Lich. So, I can't pass up this Disruptor. And at this point, I can actually just sell out of the Witch Doctor. I can put this dude a little bit up front, then I can hope that this dude doesn't human silence me. Actually, since he has a DK, I can actually do something like this. Which means his DK is gonna splash on the Pudge, then activate the Disruptor. Yeah, his stun is, like, it's really good shit. Like, especially against, like, stuff that, what's it called? Stuff like Shadowfiend and Coddle. Although, there's not a lot of that on the board right now. Like, there is a Coddle here, and this dude also has a Coddle, I think. Oh, he's dead. But he did have a Coddle. Then, if the cask just bounces on them as they're casting, they lose so much DPS, it's pretty much unreal. Oh, that is a Techies. I can't really put the Techies on my board right now though, but I can sell out of these Dooms. Put in the Lich, then I'll have the 4 Undead. Since the guy that I was targeting with my positioning earlier is dead, I can reposition to something like this. Then his axe will blink on... Wait, he doesn't have the blink on the axe anymore? Guess just didn't like it anymore. Oh, that Beastmaster has a lot of health. So, hopefully someone enigmas this dude. And I don't actually have to deal with him. Oh, that must have been pretty butt clenching, since he has 3 total health, no ages. Against this dude, I can just put the Disruptor at the center of the board if I want to counter position him. Tidehunter is a massive pickup for me. I can just sell out of the Windrunner, even though she's like one of my biggest damage sources. Activating the Nagas is more important for me right now. And I guess hanging out on 10 gold doesn't feel that bad. Here, Lycan, you can have a sword. So, unfortunately, I ran into this dude before it's in the heads up, but I guess this guy just crushes me on his board as well. That's a lot of health. Yo, that much. Yo, Croxitter. Then I can probably sell off this Tekis for interest, or I can sell out of this Lycan. Since, like, I guess only this dude is pretty physical based. This guy has, of course, the Tekis 2 with Refresher, but I think it's probably worth it to sell out of Lycan here. I will be losing my 3 warrior buff, but that is not the end of the world. I can just have these dudes hang out in front. So my board is kind of underdeveloped compared to the other boards for like endgame stuff. But if I find the Dusa 2, then it'll be a lot better. Like, it's not going to be stronger than their boards, but my board is going to be a lot better for me. I guess I can take the Scatter or the Moonshard. Either should be fine. Guess I'll put the Moonshard on the Dusa now, and I can put the Skadi on this dude so he will more reliably get his ultimate off. Grabbing a second Dusa feels fine. And I don't really want to roll down very far here. Like, I will hang out on 10 gold. And if I find something like a Dusa pair, then I can consider maybe I want to do this instead. And I can put this a little bit more exposed, so he actually just casts. So I'm not sure that I actually beat this guy just yet. I think I might need something like an Enigma to do that. Oh, I guess I am winning here. I'm beating this dude on his board, that's good news. Unfortunately, like, he's kind of not playing at his full potential, and he does have a little bit of a bank to chew through. And no, we do not know if pipe stacks, so like, that's I'll just hope that it stacks, basically. This Kanka is not quite real. Not sure if this sword does anything, but I'll put it on something. Oh, I'm just in the heads up now. That's pretty nice. I can move forward this stuff a little bit.
Let's make this quick. I have a date with a bottle of Ice Rack White.
His fucking Drow is an alcoholic. Ouch, my team just exploded. But his board exploded even more. And he doesn't have an Aegis, so yeah, I can show the damage. And I can show over on this board as well. And since I have the Tide pair now, I don't mind like going pretty all in. This Medusa is only a dream. These Drows are not necessary. They're nice, but not necessary. So this DK, I can scoot up this dude. Go with something like this, I think. And the DK is going to help me get off these casts. Hopefully, I'll be able to cast the Ravage before Tekis bombs, but wait. It's a walking DK, it's not a flying DK. My positioning was really poor. I thought the DK would be splashing me, so that's why I positioned in this sort of way. But yeah, if he's not, yeah, like if he doesn't have wings, then of course he's not gonna splash me. So that's a little bit unfortunate. One game. Wait, I can't even afford a tide if we find it. So we'll actually put the blink on the Tide Hunter at this point. Reposition a little bit. His Tekis is over here, so I just want to avoid that, dude. Ouch. So, he just... Wait. Now his DK's got wings. Did he accidentally remove the wings last round? Fortunately, on my board, I bashed his techies. So I'm not actually dead. So, this is the DPS for this fight. Okay, that's pretty... Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, it's the PvP run now. Ha! This Tidehunter 2 is... like, that's my lord and savior this game. I guess I can put the Skadi on the Lich and the Link on the Techies at this point. Then, like, all I need to do to have a good chance of winning fights is keep my Dusa away from the Techies and have my Tide actually stun the Techies. Everything is exploding when I'm looking at this guy's board. It's pretty spooky. My Skadi is already equipped. It's on my Lich. You can see. So this scythe is alright. Maybe I can do something like put it on the Alchemist. And try to like scam my way through this situation. Ouch, that is an Enigma 2-star. So I'm gonna have like this Claymore maybe unequipped, I'm not sure. Maybe I put it on the Pudge, it's really backless. So this Enigma is gonna fuck me up. This tech will also fuck me up, unless I bash him. Come on. Okay, that is not a bash. So the tech is just dealt approximately 1 million damage, 1769 DPS. Oh, I want to GG him. I forgot to do it.